Thanks for joining us. It's been a very busy day in Parliament today, with the Majority Leader confirming that the 2023 budget will be presented on the 15th of November this year. While we are looking forward to, the statement that government will present, there's equally some debates happening on the floor right now, which has got to do with that major occurrence that many in 8 districts across the country have been speaking about, and that's the Akosombo Dam Spillage. It's affected many lives, displaced over 20,000 people, as we're being told. And we know that today the Energy Minister has been presenting government's plan before the House today and detailing what the next steps might be. While the MPs in the affected areas and also the House as a whole has been deliberating on government's approach towards dealing with this crisis. On the floor now, some MPs contributing to that debate. We can listen into what's happening.
I agree that the VRA has an emergency preparedness plan. But, Mr. Speaker, it is one thing having the emergency, the EPP, and it is another thing implementing the EPP effectively to ensure that the effect of these activities is minimal on the people that we are today talking about. I live with VRA people in Akosombo, and I'm proud of what VRA has been doing over the years. I said earlier on, last time, that VRA is one of the strategic institutions that have been effectively managed by Ghanaians all these years. VRA has done spillages over the years. What is special about this year's spillage that has resulted in all these problems that we are experiencing? Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Minister for Energy mentioned that the VRA sent information to the district assemblies
Seem to be having some challenges there in terms of the network connection to the floor of Parliament. We'll resume that engagement for you shortly, where some of the MPs have been commenting on the plans announced by government to deal with the effects of the spillage of the dam. So far, 20 million Ghana cedis, we understand the Volta River Authority has given to the National Disaster Management Authority to deal with the effects of the spillage. We'll definitely be getting you updates on that shortly, and crossing you back to the House, where a number of reactions are greeting this information that we're receiving from the Energy Minister on that. But it's been a busy day, as I was pointing out, with the Majority Leader, Minister Bonsu, confirming this afternoon to journalists that the 2023 budget statement will be presented in the House, but that will be done on the 15th of November this year. He's been explaining more.
A parliament requires, as according to the IPU, a minimum of 8 weeks to interrogate the budget before coming up with the appropriations bill. Unfortunately, as I've indicated, we have barely 6 weeks. In fact, it's for that reason that your PFMA, your Public Financial Management Act, prescribes that the last date for submitting the budget is November 15th. And that's the reason why it's coming on the 15th, Wednesday, the 15th of November. Usually the budgets are read on Thursdays. So initially we were thinking that it should hold on 16th. That is subject to the agreement of all of us. We had agreed that it could be submitted on the 16th, just to be in conformity with the dates of presentation. But because we have very limited time, and because of the fact also that the 16th incidentally happens to be the date for the state funeral of the former First Lady, we thought it would be better to just be congruent with the provisions of the Act and bring it forward to the 15th, which is a Wednesday. So next week, Wednesday, we're going to have it.
Well, the minority also has the expectation ahead of the 2024 budget statement, with the minority leader, Dr. Kaysela Tuforson, indicating that they will frustrate the government's economic plan if it does not reflect on how they intend to deal with the challenges Ghanaians are facing.
Next week will be the beginning of the budget consideration. We expect the minister responsible for finance to be here. I'm not too sure whether it's 15th or 16th. It's for the majority leader to inform us based on the government decision on the date that they will present the budget. But we expect from the minority side that this budget will be a budget that will address the concerns of the ordinary Ghanaian and businesses. We are very concerned about the economic condition, and we'll do whatever it takes to assist the government to help restore the difficulties we are going through. We believe that this is not the time to pile on additional pressure on the ordinary Ghanaian because times are hard. It hasn't been easy. Difficult. It has been very difficult few years, and we think that policies must be as soon as possible introduced to reduce the suffering of the masses.
And quite a lot has been happening in the House, as we are pointing to you, with debates also going on in terms of what government economic plan will be for the communities ravaged by the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. All of these are coming up on the floor of the House. Kwaku Asante is our parliamentary correspondent, joining us with the latest of the details coming up. Kwaku, quite a busy day in Parliament today, starting off with what it is that the majority leader is indicating. And now we know that the energy minister has also appeared before the House, pointing out how much has been expended as a result of the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. Tell us more.
Well, in fact, that has taken months.
Kwaku, we seem to be having a challenge hearing you.
In fact, at some point, tempers flared up. There were MPs who had each other's neck and neck, literally fighting each other. There were some comments that had been made by the energy minister, and I'll see this as we bring you the feed in terms of what exactly is happening on the floor. But the energy minister had said that the VRA had done nothing, claims that the VRA had mismanaged the situation was clearly untrue. This is a situation the minority people, in particular, someone who could have black community.
Well, Kwaku Asante, we seem to be having a challenge hearing you, but of course on your screens now you see live pictures that we're getting from the House as that debate continues. Now we have our feed restored. Quite a heated debate it has been. Now the minority leadership, I see there, are making some contributions. Let's listen in.
Created by him. So they didn't make those comments politically. There were people who were affected. So, Mr. Speaker, that comment is, it's based on, pardon? No. It was only one person. So
address me. Ignore that.
So, I want you to rule him out and then ask him to withdraw that portion. Every comment was based on fact. None of the comment was made with ill motives. So he must withdraw that part of his comment.
Kindly assist me. Specifically, which one? The political, or which one is your complaint? So I want to be sure.
A comment that Honorable Ampem's comment was patriotic. Unlike others, it means that everything all colleagues have said this afternoon were not patriotic, Mr. Speaker. What can be more dangerous than calling a Ghanaian unpatriotic, Mr. Speaker? It's more serious than actually an insult, Mr. Speaker. I'm calling on him to withdraw that portion, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to know where the minority chief whip is resting his case. Because he just said that the deputy leader used the word political. That he said what others have said is political statement. What we deal with here, Mr. Speaker, is political. No, you said what he said. The member for Aswejaman has been patriotic. His own comments, unlike the others whose statements or comments were political What do we do here? What do we do here? So, Mr. Speaker, if really he heard right, what he said, that the others, the interventions were political interventions, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's what he said. That is what you
That's what you said.
So what did I say?
I knew you got the meaning of what I said. Mr. Speaker, he made a comment and said, Honorable Ampem's presentation was patriotic, unlike others whose presentation were only political. Mr. Speaker, the qualification is patriotic, and I'm saying that every single member of this House is patriotic to the state. And the comments made by the colleagues were based on issues there here. I'm saying that, Mr. Speaker, no member of this House is unpatriotic. We took an oath to work as a true Ghanaian. So I'm saying that there cannot be a bigger imputation of the integrity of a member of parliament than to say he or she is not patriotic. Based on that, Mr. Speaker, the respected deputy leader must necessarily withdraw that part of his presentation and make progress.
Honorable Deputy Leader, we would like to reframe your presentation.
Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that he misunderstood the metaphoric effect of my statement.
You didn't hear what he said.
Yes. But it's fine. Since it's been misconstrued and it's become an issue, I would state it properly so that we can all make progress. Mr. Speaker, the effect of that metaphor in that submission was to draw the House's attention to the fact that the statement made by Honorable Thomas Nyako Ampem was most profound in my view. Most profound. The patriotism in his statement was most profound. And clearly he demonstrated same by commending the works of VRA. He said, it is not the first time VRA has done this spillage. VRA has been so successful in its work, and that VRA, we should rather look at enhancing the capacity of VRA. To me, that is where we find the meat, enhancing the capacity of VRA. He is coming from a constituency where VRA is situated. He knows the work of VRA. He is a witness to the work of VRA. Mr. Speaker, this is the first time. But the man is sitting here. Are you his advocate?
What you are praising?
I'm praising him. Are you jealous of the praises? Mr. Speaker?
Are you jealous of praising him?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Thomas Nyako Ampem has highly commended the work of VRA. And the records will reflect, and posterity will have it, that when it came to a point where the work of VRA was misconstrued, he stood out.
Honorable Leader, hold on. Yes, Honorable Nyako Ampem. Mr. Speaker, in fact, I think that the Deputy Majority Leader has misconstrued the submission that I made. I have rather questioned the VRA capacity to implement some of these spillages effectively. And I have questioned the effectiveness of the EPP that they have been talking about. I have questioned that is it the case that the EPP actually anticipated or had planned that safe havens are classrooms and that this is how the EPP should be implemented. Mr. Speaker, I have done all this so to create the impression that I have come here to praise VRA only and to leave the salient part of my submission to create the impression that my colleagues, I have departed from what my colleagues have said is to try to knock our heads together. It's most unfortunate, and leader, don't put me into this awkward position. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
When my colleague was on his feet, I took down some notes. He said, quote, VRA is doing a good work. You acknowledge the good work being done by GRA, and indeed I agree with you. When you identify some inefficiencies, that is why you made a call that perhaps what we need as a country is to be looking at enhancing the capacity of VRA. And you took notes. That's what you said. And I'm saying that statement is very profound, commendable. Nobody in this chamber from your side has made such a statement. And I'm commending you. You are the only one acknowledging. Mr. Speaker, such a profound patriotic statement coming from the honorable member from Esojaman must be acknowledged, and I associate myself with that statement. I am inclined to accept that. This is a national call. This is what we need in this chamber. We don't need partisanship in all matters. This member has stood out. Today, posterity will record your good works. Honorable Akosombo, you have not been partisan. History will remember you. That you are acknowledging the good works of a state institution. You are calling for an inquiry that would enable VRA enhance its capacity. These are your words, and I commend you. I agree that there must be. It's a democratic imperative. If we don't institute inquiries into such matters, Mr. Speaker, we will not make any headway in our democracy. So I agree. By agreeing, we will be able to commend their hard work, such as he's doing. Mr. Speaker, again, an impression is being created as though the situation is limited to a particular constituency. Mr. Speaker, so far I must acknowledge that Northern constituency has been very visible for the optics. Mr. Speaker, if you see what is happening there, I think the industry of the Member of Parliament in bringing that to the fore has also contributed to that, and I agree. It is obvious that those affected there have also received a considerable amount of relief items. I think earlier on the submission created an impression that the Member of Parliament had personally, I think that was his contention. But I think that the language was misused. The language should have been that his constituents have benefited immensely, and they are still benefiting. The Minister of Finance is there, NADMO is there, the Energy Minister has been there. So, Mr. Speaker, anybody who would say, I have donated rice, I have donated cash, I am acknowledging the fact that I have personally not been there. But I have given money, I have given rice, I am still contributing. Because you know, part of me is from there. From some parts of the areas affected. Mr. Speaker, I won't mind you. Mr. Speaker, so nobody, for partisan reason, should say that the government has done nothing. The government has done something. We should say that it is not sufficient, and I would agree. It cannot be sufficient, because looking at the state of affairs, Anyako area alone, the people who have been affected in Anyako, yes, Mr. Speaker, Anyako people deserve some more. The people from Salaga South deserve some more. The people of Bupe area, some Winneba people are there in Bupe. They have been calling on me. Mr. Speaker, true, they have all been calling. I have a few people, they are doing fishing. Mr. Speaker, I know how they are suffering. But they have not been left naked. They have not. So nobody in this chamber should say that government has abandoned the people there. Nobody should read partisan political meaning into the conduct of government. It is never the case. The president himself was there. We are aware that others have been there.
Is this the president?
Mr. Speaker,
Is this the president?
Mr.
Is this the president?
Mr. Speaker, I said the president was there, but President Mahama was there. He didn't mention that one.
Honorable, you still have the floor. I haven't recognized you.
Especially the president.
Mr. Speaker, so I just want us to get the record straight that in such a situation, not only the government but the media, CTFM did so well and drew attention to the situation. Is it for me to talk about what your party has done? So, Mr. Speaker, let members of parliament whose constituents have benefited acknowledge what government has done. They shouldn't just acknowledge it on their social media handle. They should acknowledge it in this chamber. And this is a call I am making to members of parliament who have received donations. I don't mean personal donations, but donations received by them for and on behalf of their people. Notong, for example, has received a lot of support, not the MP personally. Notong has received support. And I want the record to reflect that when it got to this situation, the people of Northern were not left naked. The Methodist Church has been there. Only yesterday, the Methodist Church was in Northern. So, Mr. Speaker, I am calling on volunteers, corporate Ghana, and all institutions who have heard about this not to over-concentrate in one constituency. I am calling on corporate Ghana to look at the spread. A lot of constituencies have been affected.
Honorable Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I'm concluding.
Conclude.
Sure. Mr. Speaker, I shall conclude on a matter of law as raised by the Honorable Dafiamepo in relying on Act 46, Section 11. Mr. Speaker, I most humbly and respectfully submit that the section he quoted, upon which he anchored the submission to chastise VRA, was wrong, completely wrong. Mr. Speaker, the law is clear. The water levels is not just the level that would have to be used to determine whether or not to spill, but is the flow. If you have the level correct and there is no rainfall, you don't spill. But, Mr. Speaker, if you see, even if it is lower, and you see what is coming, the volume is high, Mr. Speaker, you would have to take a decision. So, Mr. Speaker, for you, Mr. Speaker, for you to rely on the law, to mislead yourself, and by extension attempt to mislead us, Mr. Speaker, you have to be corrected. VRA, as Honorable Ampim said, may have some inefficiencies. I think that after this exercise, we should rather concentrate on looking at what we can do as a nation, so that in future, should such a thing happen, it will not get out of hand. And even look at where our people are located. Is it the case that they are so close to the areas that when there is spillage, they will be most affected? Then we educate our people. These are matters for consideration. Mr. Speaker, I most respectfully submit and thank you for this opportunity.
leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Minister for Energy for the statement. Let me stay on record that a lot of honorable members who were seriously affected wanted the opportunity to speak, but for time. Mr. Speaker, let me mention Honorable Woyome, who had really strongly wanted to speak. Southon, Honorable Member of Salaga wanted to speak, Honorable Member of Central Town, Honorable Votage wanted to speak. All of them really had a lot to say about this crisis. But Mr. Speaker, let me, in brief, talk about the minister's presentation. I think when we listened to the minister, he started off by really stating the VRA's competence and talked about their maintenance record, a history of spillage and how they handled it. He even quoted Libya and Norway and the fact that they've had spillage. He talked about VRA's emergency preparedness plan, processes they put in place and the procedures and the preventive actions they put in place. We talk about simulation exercises they had done. Mr. Speaker, all of his presentation was mainly on these areas. The question was, what was the aftermath of all this preparation? Today we have listened to members of parliament that clearly were not consulted, and a lot of them have said it personally. It is very clear that the minister in defending VRA's preparedness failed to really lay bare the gaps that we must revisit to ensure that there will not be a recurrence. What was the level of consultation? I remember in one part of the presentation, the minister said at one community engagement, there were 400 community members, chiefs. Mr. Speaker, in all of this preparation, what we want to see is that how was the outcome? How was all these preparatory exercises, all this, how was it implemented? If your country have an emergency preparedness plan, and in the aftermath of a disaster, we find ourselves where we are. We have failed. And that's the point people are making. Mr. Speaker, it should not get to a point where we have even disagreement about this crisis. And people who are representing the constituencies and the districts, who are speaking so emotionally, Mr. Speaker, must be understood. Because, Mr. Speaker, when I listen, for example, to Honorable Ablakwa, and he talked about NADMO's own report of 12,633 people displaced. Talked about almost 1,550 houses destroyed, 53 schools destroyed, and so many people living in schools. Mr. Speaker, this must be painful, your whole lifetime. Mr. Speaker, and they are talking about that because we've dealt with crisis. How did we handle, for example, the Apetu disaster? Mr. Speaker, how was it handled? The whole government set up a fund. I remember. We set up the Apetu disaster fund. As we speak, there's a housing scheme. Apieti. The corporate support was actually led by government's voice. And the point that members of parliament who have spoken today are saying is that that same level of commitment has not been seen in this crisis.
More people are affected during the flood.
Mr. Speaker, and that we should not disagree on. Mr. Speaker, so the question and the issue at stake is that VRA's emergency preparedness plan, how was it implemented? The simulation exercise, what was the outcome? We know, for example, that in the minister's statement, he says that VRA set up 10 million Ghana cedi aside. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about billions of Ghana cedi in terms of the cost. We are talking about farms, long term, in the next 20 years, how do we recover? So, Mr. Speaker, the issues we are dealing with were not addressed, frankly, by the minister. They were not addressed. Mr. Speaker, the minister's statement really created gas. For example, what steps, I wanted to listen to the minister to see what steps have been put in place to ensure that we don't really face this disaster. And when it happens, the so-called emergency preparedness plan will address this crisis differently. That we will not see thousands of people living in classrooms as they are right now. That school children will find themselves so miserable. Mr. Speaker, this is why we are in this point of crisis. It is very important we address that. But Mr. Speaker, we have to also talk about government's own response. Government's own response. The executive arm of the Republic of State, led by President Akosombo, who set up a 13-member ministerial committee. Mr. Speaker, what is their report? And what are their recommendations? What steps have been taken? When Sierra Leone gets a crisis and the Vice President is sent and he donates $1 million, that level of crisis in Sierra Leone wasn't anything close to what happened here. How much do we give the people in the affected areas when the Vice President visits? That is the concern. That is the worry. That is the pain that people are expressing. How do we deal with this going forward? Mr. Speaker, people have asked government, call for a national emergency. That call never came. The asked government, set up a fund to deal with it. That's nothing. What is even the plan to really, in the short term, resettle people? What is the plan? So, Mr. Speaker, to make it very brief, it is very clear. We thank the Minister for Energy for the presentation, but the presentation failed to address serious gaps. First, VRA has too much questions to answer. There are gaps in terms of when the decision was made to spill. And Mr. Speaker, the Minister himself admitted that we are getting clear signals, contradictory signals from international weather authorities as against our own local authorities. Contradictory projections. We in Parliament must understand what this happened, because you know what? We want to make sure that when this happens again, we will not find ourselves wanting like we are. There should be no disagreement about how we deal with Ghanaians who are suffering. There shouldn't be, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, number one, we believe, and I believe that, Mr. Speaker, you support us. I saw that the Deputy Majority Leader supports us. We are calling for a full-blown parliamentary inquiry to deal with all the gaps that I've raised, to make sure we can ask the pertinent questions. Mr. Speaker, the reasons are very clear. One, we have to understand VRA's decisions and understand the failures in terms of the emergency preparedness plan, in terms of all the stimulation exercise, in terms of even their community engagement. How come the community engagement left so many critical stakeholders in that engagement? It's very clear. We must make sure that doesn't happen again. Mr. Speaker, it is very, very clear we have a disaster on our hands. And let me take the opportunity to call on the government led by President Akosombo. We are expecting to see a very aggressive and serious solution in this budget that is being presented. To see that this government seriously is going to address that. Put their money where their mouth is. In this budget, we must see that there are serious efforts to really help resettle people. Make sure school children can go back to school. Make sure that people who have lost millions in farms, lifetime savings, will have some assurance that there will be recovery and hope. That's what government is about. If government cannot lead us in the direction of recovery in times of crisis, then what is the point? So, Mr. Speaker, I believe you will support a full-blown inquiry into this very important matter. And let me use the opportunity to again console our brothers and sisters who have been affected, all the way from the Volta, all the way to the Oti region along the coast. Let me thank Corporate Ghana and ask that we can do more, that they should support. Let me thank political actors, especially President Mahama, who was the first to be there. The first to be there. And his compassion. He didn't only donate. He moved heaven and earth to ask corporate entities to move. More than that, he personally donated. And private, and I don't want to mention names, but sometimes you have to. Ibrahim Mahama has done something very fantastic. And we must commend him. That's what we want Ghanaians to do. He has convinced me that it is worth supporting people to really go up the ladder, because when in times of crisis, those are the type of people we need. So, Mr. Speaker, I ask that you support our call for a full-blown parliamentary investigation to make sure we can ask the right questions, and the purpose is not witch hunting at all, to make sure we can ensure that as a country we will not see this again, and that when it happens we will be ready. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to speak to the statement. Speaker, a statement ably made by the Minister responsible for energy. The Speaker, dealing with the circumstances that led to the spillage of impounded water, I believe the time has come for all of us to look at the management of the entire river basin, the entire Bhutan basin. Speaker, that's the first thing that should concern us. My colleague, the Honorable Dafiamapo, related to the levels of the water in December 2022. And I think his attitude was that maybe the spillage ought to have started from then on. And we all do know that December, January, February are lean months in terms of rains. If you do spill, the consequences could be bizarre. The Speaker, it is the reason why you have to basically rely on information from the Meteo Department. Even that is not sacrosanct. Remember what happened in 2010, when, upon predictions from the Meteorological Department, spillage was affected. People don't even connect the ensuing doomsday late 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014 to the spillage that occurred. We failed to connect it. That indeed was the principal source of the doomsday that afflicted this country. That's why you need to watch the radar to see whether or not to spill off or not to spill off. But the point is, did we all perhaps go to sleep a bit? Because as the Dr. Kwabena Donko alluded to, we have had continuously over the past 2.5 years above average rainfall in this country. Since 2021, we have had above average rainfall, which is why even after the rainy season, the waters in the streams don't recede to the earlier points. If we go to sleep a bit, because we are talking as members of parliament, we are aware of all these things. We didn't make any reports. Did the assemblies make any reports? All this while, when we saw things that were not familiar scenes. So let's not be quick in apportioning blame. Mr. Speaker, the VRA began their controlled spillage at Akosombo and Pong on the 15th of September, we are told. And unfortunately, an estimated 27,000 people, as of the end of October, we're told, have been displaced. Certainly not the best for us as a country. Speaker, since the construction of the dam, we are told that perhaps this is the largest magnitude of displacement and the largest spillage of impounded water recorded. But in May 2023, prior to the spillage, the VRA, we must admit, because when the first statement came to be made in the House, it was stated here that no simulation had been done.
Yes.
It was stated in the House. Now, subsequently, we've heard that indeed some simulation was done that involved over 10,000 people in Sujaman, in Adan East, and North Tomu districts in the eastern Greater Accra and Volta regions. Was it enough? The Speaker, VRA initially had planned, according to information reaching me, they had planned to do the spillage in October. But technical observations and meteo warnings compelled them to bring it forward to the 15th, because it was indicated to them that if they waited beyond September 15th, something much more disastrous was going to happen. And if they had waited maybe 2-3 days later, we never could predict what could have happened to this country. So unfortunate the circumstances have turned out to be, VRA cannot be blamed. Mr. Speaker, for VRA, they've done regular inspections, and these inspections have resulted in several retrofits over the years. I remember from President Kufuor's time when they did serious retrofitting. Of course, the retrofitting would involve upgrading of electrical and control systems, the replacing of turbines and generators, and even upgrading the dam spillway gates. If those things have not been done, Mr. Speaker, and these things were happening today, perhaps the gates themselves would have given in. And that's why we should commend VRA for what they've been doing all this while. Mr. Speaker, they have also strengthened the dam's concrete structures. And I'm informed that the retrofitting that they've done the past few years have resulted in a situation where the life of the dam has now been extended for about 40 years. So we must be commending them. But after all, they are also a human institution. They could get it wrong sometimes. Mr. Speaker, the outcome of the spillage has been inconvenient and indeed very unpleasant. But as I said, it could have been worse. We allude to houses that have been lost. Imagine somebody having saved his entire life, his entire working life, built a house, and overnight it's washed away. Nothing would hit heart and soul than this. Monies have been lost. Farms have been stripped off. Harvests, farm produces have been lost. Livestock. The good thing for us is that lives have not been lost. And if VRA had not done their work, if the spillage had not been controlled, can anybody envisage what would have happened? Mr. Speaker, whilst we are this, we should also question ourselves what we've been doing all these years. The level of deforestation, of the vegetation surrounding the streams and rivers, which is causing serious erosion and siltation of the lake. So we must be blaming ourselves as well as Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, so with the siltation, the massive siltation, any less downpour, of course, will cause serious flooding. And it's one of the things that we are seeing. As I said, perhaps all of us went to sleep. There should be an inquiry, we do agree. Mr. Speaker, maybe the time has come for us. And I was across the divide. I was having a private discussion with the minority chief whip. And I was asking, his own private house, is it insured? I'm not too sure that he can respond in the positive. In New York, when they had this serious flooding, the aftermath may not be as punishing as what we're having in Ghana. Our houses are not insured. I'm not too sure whether the house of the Honorable Minister responsible for energy himself is insured.
No comment.
He says no comment. Mr. Speaker, perhaps these things should remind us, painfully as it may be, to begin to do serious insurance. Insurance schemes for our houses, insurance schemes for our farms, for even our livestock. This should trigger it, unfortunate as the situation is. Mr. Speaker, the health implications cannot be lost on us. The water that we are drinking, now that they have inundated cemeteries and public toilets, upon some attempts we made to clean up, but how wholesome is the water that is running through our pipes now? We must be prepared for some health emergencies. And those are serious. They could affect greater sections of the population than even what has happened. Mr. Speaker, so this should lead us into some serious considerations. Apart from the health implications, inflation in this country is fueled primarily by food inflation. And we're preparing ourselves for good harvest. Now this happens. The whole basin. Mr. Speaker, so our own food security perhaps may be affected negatively. And that certainly then is not going to help us to cure inflation, because a lot of it is predicated on high food prices, on food inflation. So there are many things that should really emanate from the spillage and the flooding upstream. Mr. Speaker, I want to end once again by commending the Minister for bringing the statement to the House and providing some illumination going forward. What do we do as a country? I believe we'll be borne out from the report of the Interministerial Committee, and if we are minded to go on our own leg of establishing the parliamentary committee to delve further into that, I believe the House should be ready for that. Having said so, Mr. Speaker, I believe, as I stated initially, that this is just a brief to the House. We have invited VRA and other units and departments connected with this, including the Ministry of Health and Science Environment, to come to this House. Perhaps because of the pendency of the budget, maybe we could decide to let them come and do the presentation to us on Tuesday before the budget, because once the budget comes to be presented, Mr. Speaker, it will take center stage and will not perhaps find time to deal with this matter. So I would, subject to the indulgence of colleagues, Mr. Speaker, with your approval, I would request that we bring their appearance forward to Tuesday to enable the relevant ministers to come and do the presentation before the joint caucus on Tuesday following. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Before I invite the Honourable Minister, Honourable Leader, I want to be clear what is it you're talking about, VRA doing presentation. I've heard two things, that a parliamentary inquiry, and then at the same time you're saying VRA should do a presentation. What is it about?
Mr. Speaker, I think the call for the parliamentary inquiry ensued from the composite statement that was made. Perhaps if VRA comes before us to make the presentation on Tuesday, it may cure that. But if further to that, we still want to go on that leg, we could. But the parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker, we should be minded that once the budget comes, it may be difficult to go on that. So let them come and do the presentation to us on Tuesday. And if you are still purpose and minded to go on that, we can set up the committee, except that the committee could only work seriously once Parliament adjourns. That is post December 22nd, 2023.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with Leader. I think we all have come to a point where we agree that indeed, even the government set up a committee looking into it. On our own terms, we can also look into it. So, Mr. Speaker, instead of waiting for VRA, indeed, the Minister's presentation suggested that other agencies not under his purview, Meteorological Service are not under him. So when we set up the parliamentary committee, then we can call upon others. The idea is to prevent this happening to us again in this form. The flooding will have to take place another year, but the effect. So it is not a witch hunt committee, it's just to make sure we plan for the future. So we can set up the committee. They don't need to report before we go on recess in December. We can set up the committee and take time to work. In any case, the processing, in fact, the waters are now receding. It is posing new threats, health threats and other things. So the committee can be given a considerable amount of time to work and come up with something that we can use with the Speaker. So we can go ahead and set up the committee. In fact, we don't need to even name the members today. We can take time to constitute that.
I'm looking at the committees of the House. I've looked at select committees. If it's not a select committee, then it should be a special or ad hoc committee under Order 191. So let the leaders confer. If it's under 191, then I think the procedure is a bit different, and I want to be guided. Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One of our onerous duties is to come to the House and give the House as much information as possible to enable members to also, in their own ways, either disseminate or get informed about issues. Mr. Speaker, I would like to put on record that it is never true that there is a point mark for VRA to spill. What is true is that there's a point mark for the dam integrity, which VRA works towards, not breaking that point mark. You can be below that point mark and still spill, like the Honourable Afenyo Markin said, because of the volumes of water that are coming. I can just say, Mr. Sabo, with one example. In 2010, there was a spillage in the dam for about a few days. Mr. Speaker, after they stopped closing the spill, because the rains have stopped upstairs, so there was no need.
What you see now, except of the discussion has been going on since morning about the spillage of the Akosombo Dam, with the Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, there wrapping up the engagement for the day. The minority is now calling for a parliamentary probe, which the majority side is supporting now. We'll await further directives from the Speaker of the House and update you subsequently in our bulletins. But it's a time now to cross over to another live location where Premium Motors is actually outdooring a new product and the fleet of vehicles they have. We can now cross over live and bring you that ceremony.
Thank you very much, Nahegan, for that beautiful renditions. I love them, and it's sad that we have to, at this point, come in. We're live on the Joy News channel and also live on Joy 99.7 FM. Welcome to the launch of the all-new Renault Taliant by Premium Motors Ghana. My name is Winston Amwa, and before we went live on air, I was telling all of you that, I'll be asking you of your expectations. I don't know how many of you have Googled the all-new Renault Taliant. Has anyone done that? Anybody done that? Oh, okay. For those of you who've checked on Google, I wouldn't ask you any question. please don't check on Google. Because I have some prizes I'll be giving away, so don't check anything. And just as I said that I see a lot of you getting onto your phones, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I would ask you what your expectations are, and if they come true, I have something for you. At this point, we'll have the welcome address. We'll invite Mr. Akosombo Sapon, who is Executive PA, to give us the welcome address. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good evening. Welcome to Premium Motors Limited. On behalf of our CEO, Mr. Jihad Hijazi, I want to use this opportunity to welcome you all to this occasion, the launch of the all-new Renault Taliant. Thank you for making time off your busy schedule. We are excited to have you here today as we embark on a new chapter within our automotive industry. In the presence of our esteemed media partners, distinguished individuals, and key partners, we gather to introduce a vehicle that embodies the spirit of innovation, elegance, and an unparalleled performance. The all-new Renault Taliant. This represents the culmination of relentless dedication to excellence and our commitment to delivering exceptional driving experiences. Today, we celebrate not just the unveiling of a remarkable car, but also the collaborative efforts of our partners from Renault Group, our dedicated team here at Premium Motors Limited, and our valued partners, which is every single one of you here. Your presence underscores the significance of this event, and we are deeply grateful for your support and enthusiasm. As we introduce the vehicle to this market, witness the embodiment of our passion for engineering brilliance and our commitment as a dealership to provide the best in automotive excellence, we encourage you to explore every feature, appreciate every detail, and experience the excitement the all-new Renault Taliant has to offer. We believe that this launch marks the beginning of a new era in driving pleasure, and we are excited to share this journey with each and every one of you present. Once again, thank you for gracing us with your presence. We officially welcome you to the launch of the all-new Renault Taliant. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Akosombo Sapon. And I like the bit that you talk about people taking advantage and exploring the engineering brilliance. What that means is that all of us gathered here would have a chance to look at the vehicle in detail, but of course, looking at it in detail doesn't give you the chance to explore unless you grab one home. And so that's something you should be thinking about also. You need to grab one home so that you can explore fully the engineering brilliance. Would now invite Mr. Christopher Atipo, who is marketing manager, to give us a brief overview of Premium Motors Limited. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, valued clients, members of the media, good evening to you all. I stand before you today with much pride as we gather to celebrate a significant occasion, the launch of the all-new Renault Taliant. We at Premium Motors Limited are deeply honored to have you all in our presence, and we have been your trusted and authorized dealers in Renault vehicle close to a decade. At Premium Motors, we don't just sell cars, we curate experiences, and we're excited to introduce you to our latest offering, the all-new Renault Taliant. With a decade of experience under the leadership of our CEO, Mr. Jihad Hijazi, Premium Motors Limited continues to shape the Ghanaian automotive landscape, offering support to superior products and services that exceed customer expectations. Over the past decade, we have firmly established our presence in the Ghanaian market, becoming a trusted name synonymous with quality and reliability for our Renault vehicles, Western Europe's top seller. Through our dedication and our customer-centric approach, we have made substantial contribution to our automotive industry, setting new standards for service, excellence, and customer satisfaction. Our journey in the Ghanaian market reflects deep understanding of the unique needs and preferences of the local customers, allowing the company to tailor its offering effectively. This year has been a remarkable journey for us amidst the current economic turmoil, which I am pretty sure we have all experienced to some extent. Marked by significant milestones and achievements, we've been able to redefine our commitment to excellence. We are being constantly challenged by our partners from Renault Group to come up with innovative services, one of which is the introduction of the Renault Ray, our revolutionary mobile van service. Now, this service allows our valued customers to have their Renault vehicles serviced at their preferred location at their own convenience. We believe on going the extra mile and ensuring that your experience with us is not only exceptional, but also tailored for your own convenience. And the best part is, it comes at the same price just as visiting our workshop, because your convenience should never come at any extra cost. Since the launch of this service, the uptake has been great, and we want to use this opportunity to thank you all for the support. In addition to our innovative services, we have also invested extensively in the continuous training of our technicians through certified periodic Renault standard training programs. These initiatives empower our team with the latest skill and knowledge, ensuring that our vehicles are handled with utmost experience and care. The partnership between us and the group, Renault Group, emphasizes a shared dedication to customer satisfaction and delivering exceptional automobile experience. Looking ahead, Premium Motors, in partnership with Renault Group, aims to continue its legacy of excellence by introducing new car models to the Ghanaian market at competitive prices, further enriching the choices available of discerning customers without specifying any particular vehicle. A typical example is the vehicle on my right, which we are about to unveil. Now, beyond our business, we are committed to making a positive impact to society. This year, we proudly collaborated with the MS Hijazi Foundation and the Jihad Hijazi Foundation in a school donation exercise, providing essential resources to enhance educational opportunities for the underprivileged. We also organized a blood donation drive, reaffirming our dedication, giving back to community that has supported us generously. Furthermore, our partnership with the Ghana Boxing Authority in 2 successive years showcases our commitment to promoting sports and nurturing of young talents, underscoring belief in holistic community development. It's truly heartening to witness the enthusiasm and curiosity radiating from the young minds who have joined our youth internship program. As we continue to embrace students from various universities and technical institutions in Ghana, we acknowledge the wealth of potential they bring to our organization, the energy, fresh perspective, the eagerness to learn, and that these interns exhibit are invaluable assets to our team. In particular, I want to highlight a story of one intern who started a journey at our front desk. Despite the initial disappointment of not being directly in the workshop like her peers, her determination and resilience excelled through. So guess what? We provided her with the opportunity to step in a workshop environment. Since then, she has been fully immersed in hands-on learning, surrounded by hums of the engines and the sense of grease. So I'm pretty sure she's excited to have her internship here with us. Next year, indeed, marks a significant milestone for Premium Motors Limited as we celebrate our 10th anniversary in this automotive business in Ghana. A decade of dedication and passion. With you in the picture, this will be a great moment to reflect our achievements, the challenges we've overcome, and then the countless relationships we've built along the way. As we gather here today, we extend our warmest welcome to all of you. We are not just launching a vehicle, we are ushering a new era of automotive excellence. and we are delighted to have you here to witness this moment with us. Thank you for your trust and support in Premier Motors Limited. Let us embark on this exciting journey together. And welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to the launch of the all-new Renault Taliant. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Christopher Tipo, for providing us with a brief overview of the company. And I'm excited always to hear about the fact that it's not just about selling cars to us, but also giving us a great experience. So I told you about how I was going to find out what your expectations were, and many of you picked up your phones, went on to Google because I asked you how many of you have checked Google, and the fact that I had prizes for you. Maybe it's time we do that before the CEO gets to tell us what the features are and then unveils the all-new Renault Taliant. So let's say I get in here and I ask a very simple question. What are we going to see when we unveil the Renault Taliant? Who's prepared to go first? Okay, let me step here and see if, who knows, if you get it right. Once I'm here, I can make promises. All promises I make will be taken care of by the company. So go ahead. Yes.
I guess we'll see the new Logan.
We'll see the new logo?
New Logan.
Oh, okay, new Logan. Well, let's see. Let's see if you're right. Who else? Who else want to give it a try? Okay, there we go.
I didn't check Google, by the way.
Now I know you checked.
I just
go
want
ahead.
to say that I'm expecting to see something elegant and maybe a more roomy interior. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I can see you're getting very close. Okay, let's go.
Likewise, I didn't see the Google.
Yes, I checked. I realized that you didn't check your phone today.
But I expect engineering excellence.
Great. Engineering excellence, who else? Okay, there we go.
So, listening to Christopher, my expectation will be something slick with price, good price.
Okay, let's see. Maybe we can take a last one. Okay, let me just get back there and see. There you go.
My expectation will be a very stylish car for the young and upcoming family members. Yeah.
Okay. A very stylish car for the young and upcoming person. Well, let's see if all of you are right, because I have seen it. Of course, I had to see it before all of you do. Yes, but at this moment, let me help all of you, okay? Let me just save you all the curiosity and invite on stage Mr. Jihad Hijazi, who is CEO of Premium Motors Limited, to tell us the features of the all-new Renault Taliant. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you very much. So, for those of you who know me well, I don't like reading prepared material. I usually prefer to be spontaneous, so please bear with me. My job today is to speak about the Taliant and its features. So I hope I do a good job out of it. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press, our cherished and valuable customers. It's with immense pleasure and gratitude that I stand before you today, surrounded by esteemed media corps and the strategic customers, to mark a significant milestone in the journey of Premium Motors. For those of you who don't know, Premium Motors is has been in this business for close to 10 years, just like Chris informed us earlier. Your presence here amidst the glowing anticipation in the air speaks volumes about the shared enthusiasm we all hold for the world of automobiles. Thank you for gracing this event. We are very honored for all of you to be here today to share in our new automobiles, to share in our ideas, and to share in our business. For nearly a decade, Premium Motors has with pride and dedication served as the authorized partner to Renault in Ghana. Our commitment to providing a wide range of new cutting-edge vehicles, together with innovative after-sales support solutions, has been firm, and it is this same dedication that brings us together this afternoon. Today, we are here to celebrate yet another evolution of automobiles in Ghana, the introduction of an exceptional and cutting-edge B-segment vehicle. So the Taliant, for all of you who don't know, is a B-segment. So it's competing against vehicles like the Toyota Belta, the Hyundai Accent, and so on and so forth. The all-new Taliant, the successor, as one of our cherished customers and brother said, is the successor of the Logan. Within the vibrant landscape of Ghana's automotive industry, we have observed the increased need for fuel-efficient and environmentally friendly vehicles, with the special emphasis on the A and B segments. So the A segments are the entry-level vehicles, the i10s and the Quids, and the B segments like the Taliants and the Accents. I'd like to point out our very good partners from the GSA here today, with keen interest in this type of vehicle and the environmental impact it has. The all-new Renault Taliant, with its high-powered, state-of-the-art, yet fuel-efficient 1.0-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. So for most of you who know automobiles, B segment usually roams around the 1.4 to 1.6 liter engine, and it's usually a 4-cylinder powertrain. However, this particular vehicle here is having a 1.0 liter engine, so obviously it lends credence to the issue of fuel economy, which usually with a 3-cylinder engine compromises power of a B segment. But in this case, the power of the engine itself, because it's a highly efficient modern engine, the compromise is really not realized in this situation. So we have an engine that's about 1.0, but it churns about 70 to 80 kilowatts, which is close to a range of hundreds to 120 horsepowers. So pretty impressive stuff. And obviously this particular engine, and for now, we've opted for the CVT transmission, which is automatic, which is what we call automatic here in Ghana. It blends the thrill of driving with exceptional efficiency, making it an ideal choice for the discerning Ghanaian driver. This vehicle indeed perfectly addresses the collective needs of private and business customers alike to minimize the cost of fuel while enjoying comforts. So this particular Taliant is offered in 2 trims. We have a basic trim called the Life trim, and then we have a more sophisticated trim called the Zen trim. So the Life trim is all about simplicity, meeting functionality. It embodies practically with no compromise on safety, making it an ideal choice for those who appreciate the essentials with a safety-conscious needs. It's a testament to Renault's commitment to delivery quality and value to all our customers. The Zen trim, by contrast, takes things up a couple notches with enhanced sophistication, styling, and excitement in driving experience. This is where technology meets elegance, a blend of cutting-edge features and refined aesthetics. Some of you here spoke about aesthetics earlier on, exuding an atmosphere of sheer comfort from within. So the interior is supposed to be cutting-edge and modern. Every driver becomes an adventure, and every journey turns into a delightful experience. Step aside and you will be embraced by the quality interior and defines the design sophistication. Every inch of the Taliant reflects meticulous attention to detail, utilizing premium materials and ergonomic layouts to elevate your comforts and driving experience. So this particular vehicle here has an 8-inch full-color multimedia touchscreen system, and it's also compatible with the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay, which are integrated into the multimedia system. Seamless connect your devices, access navigation, and enjoy your favorite tunes all at a fingertip. One thing I didn't find out was if it was voice activated, but we'll look at that when we launch the vehicle. The factory inbuilt phone holder. So this vehicle comes with a factory inbuilt phone holder. And it also comes with USB port enhancements to enhance your driving experience, making it seamless, convenient, and connected. And you know, today everything is about connection. We're connected to our vehicles today. The CVT transmission ensures that every shift is smooth, responsive, and effortless. Electronic parking brakes. So this little car here comes with an EPB, an electronic parking brake. This is something that is typical in vehicles that's in the $40,000, $50,000 range, but surprisingly is included in this little vehicle. Let's talk about trunk capacity. And generally in the B segment, trunk capacity is typically in the sedan B segment around 480 to 490 liters. This is a leader in that particular segment with 528 liters. So it adds about 20 to 25 liters to its predecessor, the Logan, and a bit over 40 to 45 liters for its competitors in the market. The trunk space is the best in its category with a record-breaking length. So the loading length, the depth of the loading length is a little bit over 1 meter at 1.065 meters. It's not just a large space, it's freedom, ensuring that you can carry everything you need on your journeys, making each trip stress-free and enjoyable. One of many other standout features of the all-new Taliant that deserves special mention is its impressive high ground clearance. Nobody spoke about the ground clearance. And as we know here in Ghana, ground clearance is of utmost importance. One of our, this particular segment of vehicle for Renault comes with a sister product called Stepway, which is actually a B segment, but it's a hatchback. And that particular vehicle is no more in the system now. I mean, we'll have the new model end of 2024. However, that particular vehicle's success was mainly because of its ground clearance. So a lot of our customers who were given the choice of Stepway versus Logan unanimously chose Stepway because mainly because of its ground clearance. So in Africa, where the roads are frequently arduous and deplorable, this feature is more than just an added bonus. It's a game-changing necessity. Whether you are navigating through urban landscapes or exploring off the beaten paths, this vehicle provides the confidence to tackle any terrain. It effortlessly glides over bumps, potholes, and uneven surfaces, providing the user a smooth and stable ride regardless of the road condition. Okay, so no more strained necks or guessing games. No more strained necks or guessing games. The rear view camera combined with the back warning sonar systems provides you with real-time visual display on your 8-inch screen together with warning sensors in case of hidden obstacles. So once again, this is a B segment vehicle coming with a rear view camera and back warning system. So once again, typical of vehicles in C and D segment vehicles. The rear view camera and sonar system transform the way you maneuver your vehicle, especially in tight spaces or crowded urban environments. With this safety package, parking and reversing becomes not just hassle-free, but truly effortless. The all-new Taliant is more than just a form of transport. It's a promise to all our customers, a promise to you that life's journey should be as exhilarating as it is comfortable and affordable. It is about realizing your dreams, pursuing your passions, and getting whatever you want from life. The Taliant is your companion in the pursuit of life's adventures. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us get ready to witness the unveiling of the new Renault Taliant, a symbol of innovation, style, and unmatched performance. Buckle up, because the road ahead has never looked more exciting. Thank you very much, and let's take a look.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Jihad Hijazi, for telling us all the features. I like how you end, actually. The fact that, life should be comfortable and affordable. Now, let the countdown begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Waiting patiently. Now you can see it. Looks very, very nice. I mean, I like the ground clearance because I like the fact that it's only 1.0 liters. I mean, I check the fuel prices every day, so once I see anything like this, I'm excited about it. I like the trunk space. Please, can I be the first to go and inspect it? Who else wants to join me to inspect? Okay, so let's go. Come with me. Let's begin the inspection. And once we're done with the inspection, we can actually talk about it and talk about all the unique features of the all-new Renault Taliant. Looks like we're all done, inspecting all the features of the all-new Renault Taliant. And I'm sure you're all excited. I have asked of the price already because I am thinking of getting one. Any car that is, 1.0 with all these features, for me, it's a good deal. But very soon we'll be finding out from you, particularly for those of you who told us your expectations, whether all those expectations were met. Where is Ajete Annan? He told me that, in fact, when he opened the trunk, we said, Charlie's one said, we go feed bed inside. Sorry I had to say that one, but it's very true. Anyway, so let me get to all of you and find out, what your assessment is. Okay, let me start off from here.
It looks pretty sleek. And the space is adequate.
Great. Let me get to you.
Yeah, my expectations were met. It's elegant, as I expected, and the interior, like I spoke about, it's quite roomy, and the attention to the detail in terms of how the fabric is sewn and put together, it's really good. I also looked at the trunk, and it's quite roomy, so well met. And the 1.0 was the killer for me. I just couldn't believe that something as beautiful as this would be running on a 1.0. Really good. I never thought about ground clearing and ground clearance, but that's a good word I've learned today.
Yeah.
And I think it will feel really good to drive when I tried it out.
Great. I like the fact that you say it will feel good. It means you would get one. You also, you were telling us about your expectations. Were they met? You've seen it now?
Yes. So sleek. And I was interested in the technicalities, as he mentioned, and perfect.
Who else would want to tell us his own assessment? Maybe Ajete, maybe? Putting you on the spot.
Well, I think that this is a perfect example of the car tailored for the modern family. I mean, you know how sometimes you get all the good features that you're expecting and then something is compromised. So maybe you get the aesthetics that is so solid, but then fuel consumption is so high, or vice versa. But this is just the perfect example where everything is just up to the highest possible deal. So
great. Who else want to say something? Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so looking at the car, it's very robust. And I would like to think of what my dad said some time ago, that if you are expecting a car, listen to the noise that it makes when you close the gate. So if it's inferior, you hear the sound bing. But if it's very robust, you hear the word boom. And when I closed the gate, it sounded like that. So I think it's a robust car.
I like your analogy. Yeah, let's give it up for him. This is practical lessons, eh? Yes, you also told us your expectations.
Yes, I'll also join my colleagues here to attest to the fact that the design and also upcoming family or young guy, which is very stylish. So yes, I agree with them.
Great. So there's a general consensus here. Let me get to you.
We can see a lot of revolution in this car. Big space in a small car. And when Mr. Jihad was also talking about the specs, something I saw it very important also about you can drive it wherever. For, Ghana, we have a lot of off-roads and spots. So it seems like also it's very good to drive it wherever you are, especially when you are not in a good road condition. And a lot of space inside the car. It's very usable.
Great. Okay, so there's a consensus here that everything we're told about the car once we got to see the car, all our expectations were met. Let's give Renault, Taliant, and Premium Motors a round of applause. Now, Mr. Jihad Hijazi said that he likes to do extempo, but this time around he was giving a speech. I'm sure if he had done his own extempo, he would have told us that the starting price is $18,000. But because they wrote it for him, and in its class, the starting price is $21,000. And so if this is $18,000, it means that it's very, very affordable. Just think about it, okay? $3,000 multiplied by 11.512, 36,000. That's a lot of money. And so, folks, you know what to do now. Look, okay. I know that my bosses are watching. I think I like one of these. So when I go, I'm driving straight back to the office to start the negotiations to get this one. I have to change my car. Well, so once we all agree that this is the best car for its range, then once again, another round of applause. And that would bring us to the end of the program. We would invite Eastwood Thine Baden to give us the closing remarks.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, we have reached the end of what has been an incredible event. On behalf of the entire Renault team, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to each and one of you for being a part of this momentous occasion. To our esteemed customers, thank you for your presence and for placing your trust in Renault. We are truly grateful for your continued support and loyalty, and we assure you that we will always strive to exceed your expectations with our innovative and reliable vehicles. We hope that the Renault Taliant has exceeded your expectation and that it will bring you joy and satisfaction on every journey. To our dedicated support team and staff, we cannot thank you enough for your tireless effort in making this event a resounding success. Your hard work, attention to detail, and unwavering commitment have been truly commendable. We would also like to express our gratitude to our partners, Group Renault, who have played a crucial role in making this event possible. Your support and collaboration have been invaluable, and we appreciate your commitment to our shared vision. Lastly, to all our guests, thank you for joining us today. Your presence has added immense value to this event, and we hope that you have found it informative, engaging, and enjoyable. We are grateful to the opportunity you have given us to share our passion of the Renault Taliant. As we draw the curtains to the event, we want to assure you that our commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction remains unwavering. We will continue to work tirelessly to exceed your expectations and to provide you with the best possible driving experience. Once again, thank you for being a part of this special occasion. We hope that you leave here today with a fount of memories, a deep understanding of the Renault Taliant, and a sense of excitement of what lies ahead. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very, very much, Eastwood Thine Baden. And so for all of you watching us on the Joy News channel, listening to us on Joy 99.7 FM, you know what to do. Please look out for Premium Motors Limited, Article Junction, the Adoko Road, but you can also call them on 0201-690-671 or 0307-080-010. Please get in touch with them and get for yourself the all-new Renault Taliant. Thank you very, very much, all of you, for joining us here, and for all of you who made time to watch us on Joy News and on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Winston Amwa. You have a lovely day.